In today's session, we will discuss about deadlock in Java. In this session, we will create a program where you can see that in which situation deadlock is occur. And we will also discuss when deadlock will become, how we can resolve the deadlock situation. So everything we will cover in our practical session. So first we will discuss in which part deadlock is occur. So it will occur when we are doing a multi-threading programming. Which situation we can say that it is a deadlock? Okay, means your program is dead. It is not moving ahead. That situation we can say as a deadlock. It's a simple way I am just explaining over here. So in this image, you can see that we have a two thread 1 and thread 2. And we have a two resources, resource R1 and resource R2. So thread 1 has acquire a lock for resource R1, and similar way right hand side you can say see that thread 2 acquire a lock for resource R2. Similar way you can see that thread 1 is waiting for get release resource R2 which is locked by thread 2, and similar way thread 2 is waiting for resource R1 which is lock hold by thread 1. So both the threads are waiting for each other. So this situation we can say that it's a deadlock in the program. Deadlock. In simple situation we can say that deadlock can occur in a situation when a thread is waiting for an object lock that is acquired by another thread, and similar way a second thread is waiting for the object lock that is acquired by the first thread. Understood? Both are waiting for the each other. So this situation we can say as a deadlock. Okay, let's understand this into a practical session and how we can resolve this deadlock situation. That also we will cover in this practical session. Thank you. So let's start our practical session. So I have created a one class as a deadlock example. So as per our image, what I have shown before this practical session, you can see this image on the right hand side as well. So we have a two resource, right? So let me create the two resource. String resource 1, and let me give the name as a R1. Okay, and I'm creating another resource as a R2 here. Okay, so two resources I have created over here, resource 1 and resource 2. Okay, now we need to create a two thread as per the image. Okay, similar way we are going to create a program which is shown the image, so you will have an idea how can write the program as well. Okay, so I have created the two resource R1 and R2. Now what I will do, I will create a thread. I will public void run and okay, within the run method what I will do, I will create a synchronized block for this resource R1. Okay, synchronized block for resource R1 and sorry, this resource, not R1 resource. Okay, and I'm printing the message. Okay, so thread 1 acquire lock on resource R1. Okay, this is the message we are printing over here. Okay, so this I will do this. Okay, I will create another thread. Okay, as per the image, what first statement was that the thread 1 is putting a lock on resource 1 and thread 2, okay, is putting a lock on resource 2. Okay, so thread, let me update the statement like this way. Resource 2. The first statement which we understand. Now the second statement, thread 1 wants to use the resource R2 and he is looking for that resource. Okay, so what we will do, let me put thread dot sleep and it will put wait for 1000 milliseconds and it will ask for the try catch for the interrupt one. Okay, I have just added this. Similar way, I will explain you why this sleep I have put it. So you will also understand about that case. So here I will also putting this in. Now in the second step, what they were saying that they want to put a lock on resource 2. Okay, so let me put a lock on resource 2 as per the image, right? So thread 1 wants to acquire lock on resource R2. Okay, similar way, what we will do here, thread 2 wants or acquire a lock on resource 1. Okay, resource 1. Okay, so now what will be happen? I have created the two thread, thread 1 and thread 2. So when I will start the thread 1, it will execute its run method and put the R1. So both thread are independent. Okay, and both are so fast. So I want to be put some hold for the 1000 milliseconds. So both threads can be hold for the time being. Why I want to be hold for the time being? Because first it will start the locking on this one, and the same way once it will put the lock, it will start trying to acquire the resource too. So both the thread will be happen, then this situation it will create the deadlock. Okay, that's why I have put it this thread dot sleep as a manually. So it will be hold for the some second and then both the threads will be executed. If any thread will be executed into the minor millisecond, then it could be a chance it could not be created. So that's why I want to create the deadlock. That's why I have put it the thread dot sleep with the 1000 milliseconds. Okay, so you understand about this thing, right? Now what I will do, I will thread 1 dot I will put as a start and thread 2 dot start I will put like this way. Okay, so here you can see that there is a I did some correction over here. As per the image, within the resource 1, when we are putting the log for the resource R1, when thread 1 is putting a log on the R1, then again we are looking for the resource 2, and this resource 2 is acquired by the thread 1. Okay, and similar way thread 2 is putting a lock on resource 2. Okay, and it will hold for the 100 milliseconds, and within this resource 2 itself it is trying to acquire a lock for resource 1, and which is held by the thread 1. So now you can understand that. Okay, now we can see that the situation of the deadlock. Let me run this application. Let me run. So now you can see that this is a red icon. Application is running it, and you can see that thread 1 acquire a lock on resource 1. Okay, let's understand this via the practical. So thread 1 has started putting on the lock on the resource 1, and we can see that message. Now it will hold for the few of the second, 1000 milliseconds, and then once this limit is completed, then thread will be again on the running stage and try to put a lock on the resource 2. But now you can see that in the same time the thread 2 object is also created, and it has put it the lock on resource 2. So you can see the both the message thread 1 away in the running stage, put the lock on resource r1. Similar time the thread 2 is also uh, putting a lock on the resource 2. Now thread 2 wants a resource 1 which is held by the thread 1, and thread 2 wants a resource means vice versa, both are holding the lock. So here you can see that the situation is occurred and deadlock has happened. So we know how to write the deadlock program. Okay, now how we can resolve it? So we can see that the solution is already present into the program itself. Okay, so in deadlock, it is a pattern of accessing a resource R1 and R2 is a main issue, right? So to solve this issue, what we need to do? We need to reorder the statement where the code is accessing the shared resource, right? So again, back to our program, you can see that what we need to be correct to while accessing the R1 and R2. So here the mistake is that we need to be reorder, means first the resource 1 we are accessing over here, and then it is looking for the resource 2. So we need to be restructured. So what I will do over here, I will first put as a resource 1 and then I will put as a resource 2. Now you can see that means what will be happen programmatically, we can see that both the thread will go into the running stage. Okay, thread, whatever the thread 1 or thread 2, either thread 1 or thread 2, first will we put the lock on resource 1. Okay, then this message will become, then it will wait for the 1000 seconds, then it will go for the resource 2. Here you can see that thread 2 is also looking for the resource 1, and both the thread will become at that time the synchronized. Whenever any block is acquired by the thread 1, so thread 2 will be wait, right? You know the concept about the synchronization, right? So here it will thread 2 will be wait where to get release of the resource 1. So once the thread 1 complete their job, then thread 2 will start its execution. So this way we can solve the deadlock situation to reordering the to calling our resources. You can see that. Let me run it. Now you can see what happened. Thread 1 acquired the lock on resource 1. Okay, now thread 1 wants to acquire a lock on R2, so both are execution done. Once the thread 1 is complete their job, then thread 2 is awake, put the lock on R2, and then you can see the message of this R1. So both the threads have used the shared resource and solve this deadlock situation to just rearrange the accessing the resource. So hope you have cleared with your doubt, and you know that how to write the deadlock program and how we can resolve the deadlock issue in the Java. So thanks for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. It will really help me to motivate to create more program, and I will definitely help you for interview preparations as well, and make you more comfortable with the Java programs.